Today was our annual function, which we hold each year, normally in September, October, so that we can say a very big thank you to all the partners, including our learners, there's teachers, subject advisors, donors, of course, who fund the Maths Centre, our Board of Trustees who support us, and Department of Education personnel.
We are here at the Maths Centre to celebrate with Sharon-Jeet and her team, because we have had a partnership with the Maths Centre for many years now. We have provided the degrees and the qualifications that we've run through the Maths Centre.
I'm the MC for the third time this year, well not this year, the third year in a row. So I kind of said that Einstein had that whole formula about E equals MC squared. So I've twisted that to say I equals MC cubed.
Welcome to another fabulous Maths Centre Friends and Funders lunchy spring thing. Doesn't this weather just make you want to run out and fix education? So, owing to budget cuts again, and then other people striking, I'm the MC again, and I must apologise. I'm going to actually be taking a few notes of people in the room, and we're going to fill this position for next year today.
We've got the usual displays of science and technology all around us. We've got a conversation from the chair of the Board of Trustees, so Zoe Hussein will chat to the audience.
So, we do need a poster child for maths and science in this country, and the SKA gives us that opportunity. And we're hoping to partner with the Department of Science and Technology, as well as Department of Education, to try and move that agenda forward. With your help, I can proudly say that in the past year, the team has been able to deliver to more than 800 rural schools in our projects. For the first time, we've surpassed 100 employees.
Sharon-Jeet will have her say, no doubt.
You're all aware of how difficult and terrifying the situation of skills development has become in our country. And until the end of last year, Maths Centre has dealt with pure maths, physics, technology, children going into university, primary children preparing to go into high schools to become academics. A couple of hundred might go into FET colleges, might get bursaries, but the rest of them, nobody is able to tell us where are they, what are they doing.
And we also have the head of the Minister's Task Group for FET colleges and math and science, actually, Prof. Sizwe Mazibela.
We acknowledge that it will take a generation or two to fix our schooling system, but we cannot wait that long to produce the skills that are so sorely needed to drive our economy. So the Minister of Higher Education and Training decided to set up a task team. The purpose of this task team is primarily to come up with some kind of a bridging program for all the many young people with the potential in mathematics and science, again, who, through no fault of their own, have not been able to perform at their best, and therefore cannot access any program that requires mathematics and science.
He made such a brilliant contribution. I was so proud of him. And he came all the way from Rhodes University.
And then our keynote address is Prof. Jill Marcus, who we know is the head of she's the first woman governor of our Reserve Bank.
It gives me great pleasure to be here today. This is an institution whose work I've long admired, ever since I came to know its Executive Director, Sharon-Jeet, during my tenure at Gordon Institute of Business Science. In my opinion, both Sharon-Jeet and her team are wonderful examples of what can be achieved when a small group of committed people sets out to make a difference in the world. Without question, all of us are stakeholders in the outcomes of the South African education system. While the Maths Centre and other NGOs may work more directly in it and on it on a daily basis, as South Africans we see the reports and the headlines. We know the statistics and we know the reality. We all know how critical it is to make every effort to steadily fix the education system and to ensure that NGOs such as the Maths Centre, whose work is outstanding, act in a manner that renders support to the system.
She is so learned, so knowledgeable, connects the dots beautifully.
there's going to be something interesting around paper and origami and the art of making, quite a mathematical art actually, of creating images and things, sculptures, out of paper.
Everybody received a piece of a square in the little pack in front of them, and you fold it up. Then you open up your wings. There's your prey.
Velma excelled herself at making sure that everybody does cranes today, because cranes is a symbol of flight and joy and moving into the future.
These are works of learners who've done really, really well in building vehicles, basically.
The concept was that they had to build a truck using math, science, technology, understanding, and if they didn't have sufficient understanding to draw a truck, to understand proportions, to understand hydraulics and gears and levers and so on, they had to go and learn it.
The project's aim is to promote artisans and engineering skills in schools. That is for grade 9s and for grade 10s. It has been running in grade 9s and grade 10s for learners in Gauteng schools. This year we did 40 schools in Gauteng, and they are all technical high schools. With the 40 schools we had, each school was a club of 10 teams, and the aim of the artisans clubs is to emphasize the importance of learning mathematics and science through technology education, and to make sure that the link between the three is visible.
Well, the scenario was given that we had to design a tipper truck with a list of specifications whereby clear that the truck should move 30 meters distance or more than that, have a hydraulic system function for dumping, and fit inside an A4 box.
We built the only non-battery operated tipper truck.
Designing and building the truck as a team gave us a chance to work together and improve our workmanship skills.
I enjoyed doing the project because I learned and experienced a lot of things throughout the whole year while I was doing the tipper truck. My maths and science I learned a lot better than before I started the project.
I would also like to show my appreciation to the learners and how well they spoke. There were quite a few eyes in the house that were absolutely, you could see they were wet and they couldn't contain themselves, because they could see that these kids are not going to defer their dream. These kids are going to realize their dream through the project that they have done with the Maths Centre.
New innovations are coming out of the centre at the moment. We have this really exciting science kit that was developed by the centre.
It's a great pleasure today to unveil and officially launch the Maths Centre Mobile Science Card. So I'm going to do that unveiling with my colleague Tulani, who's been part of the research and development of this product, obviously conceptualized by Sharanjit, and I think 8 months of work is going to be unveiled in front of you now. Here we go. Drum roll. Drum roll.
We built this because we have realized that most of the schools do not have functional laboratories. So we've come up with a way of having a laboratory without finishing a whole building or a whole room with a apparatus. So here they can share, and they can be moved from class to class. So you don't have to actually have a physical laboratory. Once you have this, you can use a normal classroom, and you are able to teach your science with all the experiments that are required.
It really is a very, very special day, and I'm delighted to be here. But for me, what is important is for us, as a broader South African community or society, to start to think very, very carefully about the kind of a society that we want to become. Because education is so central in building a more humane, a caring, equitable and a just society.
I think the work that the Maths Centre does is extraordinary. The question of supporting the system, ensuring that individual initiative and commitments can make a difference, so that all of us benefit.
We also have provided 102 new jobs this year within the organization and across South Africa, and we are impacting over 800 schools at present.
Given the state of our education at the moment, we can only count on NGOs like the Maths Centre.
Just keep up the work that you're doing. Don't in any way slacken, because the needs are all the more important going forward. And as much as you've achieved in the past, we need to grow that achievement and even achieve more going forward.
I am so proud of the work we do.
It is a serious job, but this day is for celebration of achievements.